Hey everybody, and welcome to the FFL West Coast Lead Strategy Call. My name's Marysa Maggio, so I'm going to be kind of guiding you guys right through this call. Some people might be hopping on and off, which is totally fine. I just ask that any questions that you do have, if you just hold them till the end, that way I might answer your question as I'm kind of walking through this here today. Let's see. All right, so first and foremost, in terms of schedule, so a lot of this is going to be expectations that I'm going to go over, but also a lot of education. So you want to make sure you have a pen and paper for certain things and that you go ahead and you're writing that information down. So in terms of schedule for a full-time producer, if you're in the field, you're sitting with families in home. On Mondays and Thursdays, those are going to be your dial days. So on Monday, you're dialing to book appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday, you're dialing to book appointments for Friday and Saturday. Now, our goal as an in-home producer, face-to-face, knee-to-knee, however you want to phrase that, is to set 15 appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday, 15 appointments for Friday and Saturday. I always like to say 15 to 20 is a sweet spot. If you have 20, you're not going to lose. And then in terms of virtual, you want to make sure you're doubling your activity and you're realizing that it's going to be double the investment, but not only double the investment, but double the work. So make sure that if you are going virtual, you're preparing yourself that it's really not necessarily scheduled out this way. It's going to be scheduled out the way that you do it. And for most folks that are seeing success on the virtual side, that's typically 5 or 6 days that you're on the phone, just doing straight telesales, dialing, making 600-700 dials per dial session per day. So it's about, are we willing to put in more activity? Or are we willing to go knee to knee and sit with that family in terms of, what we're doing? And then taking a look at kind of what we're going to go over is, in terms of what you need to dial leads, phone script, phone burner, joining the dial team, and registering for work spots / plugging into your local office. So agent resources, fflwestcoast.com, as well as fflsolidity.com. Both are going to be great places that you want to go ahead and bookmark, as you're going to be able to find phone scripts, training materials, objection handling, books, so to say, carrier underwriting guides, quoting tools, etc. Also, ffl-go.com. This is one that I've had since I've literally my first day at Family First Life. It's a great tool to be able to go ahead and actually go and find the quoting tools, carrier guides, underwriting guides, all in one spot, which is great. And then also downloading the Next Level Plus app. So the Next Level Plus app can simply be found in your app store. So you want to go ahead, download that. Again, just a good resource to have. And then Slack. So for our group, Family First Life Solidity, part of West Coast, we're in the West Coast workspace, but we do have a Solidity Slack channel. And that's how our organization communicates. So you want to make sure that you are plugged into that Slack group. If you're not, reach out to myself or your upline. Let us know and we'll be happy to get you in there. So in terms of lead budget and lead expectations, so for each lead order, meaning you're placing a lead order twice a week, we want to remember that, right? So you're going to have a new lead order for each dial day. So you're going to have new leads on Monday and you're going to have new leads on Thursday. Why is that important? It's important because going into a new dial day, there might be leads that you haven't reached, but you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success each and every dial day. A common question that I do get is what are the best leads? So to be really transparent with you guys, there's not necessarily a best lead type in my personal opinion. Being a top producer, I do use a little bit of everything. So a blend always works. So I can definitely help out with that as well. And then after you purchase your leads, you want to make sure you're purchasing and printing your leads the day before your dial day. If you're dialing, the normal schedule Monday and Thursday, you want to make sure your leads are printed and ready to go on Sunday night and on Wednesday night. If not, it's probably going to be chaos in the morning. Don't do that to yourself. So dial expectations. It might sound silly, but you want to make sure you're using the correct phone script. I always go back to there's no such thing as a silly question. If you're not sure, ask your upline, hey, I've been using the Facebook funnel expense script and, I'm dialing these 2-month mortgage leads. Is that what you would do? It's not a silly question. This is a brand new, business that you're getting into, or it's, you're relearning it, so to say. So Using the correct phone script is going to be the first thing that you can control. Making 15 appointments for the next 2 days. So remembering that you don't want to schedule your appointments more than, I always say, 48 hours out, 72 max, because you're just increasing your no-show rate when you do that. So people are more likely to be home when you go ahead and you're scheduling them for the next 48 hours. So again, you're making those 15 appointments if you're in home for the next 2 days, 30 plus appointments a week. I always say 30 to 40. And if you're doing virtual appointments, you want to make sure, again, you're looking at doubling your activity. So how do we get there? So in terms of dialing leads 3 times back to back to back. The first time somebody told me to do that, I was like, are you crazy? I would be so mad if somebody called my phone 3 times back to back to back. And they asked me, would you fill a form out about life insurance and send it back in? And I was like, no. Ever since then, I dialed 3 times back to back to back. And I booked probably about 60 of my appointments on that 3rd dial. So it does matter. Making at least 400 dials. You want to make sure you're tracking your activity. If you're not tracking your activity, nobody can track a win for you. You got to track your own win. So if you're making at least 400 dials, and you're in home, great. You want to make sure that you're focusing on the activity, not the outcome. You can get emotional about the activity. Don't get emotional about the outcome. If you made 100 dials and you booked 2 appointments, love you, but I'm not surprised. If you made 200 dials and you booked 8 appointments, keep dialing, make 400, you're going to book 16, right? It's all a numbers game. And then making sure, I can't stress this enough, that you're starting to dial early. If you're the person who's getting on the phones at 7:30, 7:45, you're beating everybody, by the way, around you, right? 8 o'clock, absolute latest, drop dead number, 8 o'clock. If you're in the office or in your office, whatever that means to you, dialing, you want to make sure you're just hitting that phone right at 7:30, right at 7:45. If you're able to do that, what it's going to go ahead and correlate into is, you're able to have a booked up schedule before 12 o'clock. And that's powerful because after that, you have a lot of hours to do other business or money-making activities throughout the day. So that's the beauty of that. I always like to look at dial sessions if you want to break it up a little bit so that it's not overwhelming. Your first dial session, dialing from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So looking at it in terms of 5-hour sessions versus looking at it like, are you taking all day to dial or are you dialing all day, right? So what I'll always do after this 7:30 to 1:30 spot is I'll take a look back and I'll see how many dials have I made. And if I haven't already made, at least at that point, 300 dials, which would be low, it's like I have to make sure that I'm doing my job. So there's nothing to be emotional about the fact that I have to get back on the phones from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's not too late to be dialing your leads till 9 p.m. Some people are getting out of work. You'll be amazed of who you catch if you only dial in the morning. You'll be amazed of who you catch if you typically only dial at night. So downloading phone burner. So this is a great way to almost take the emotion, so to say, out of dialing, right? Sometimes it's hard to pick the phone up and keep going. So registering for phone burner, again, it's going to automate that activity, if you will. So there's 3 different options that you can go ahead and register for, but essentially what you're doing here is you're automating it. So it's phoneburneragency.com. It'll give you 3 options. So you'll load your leads into the system and it automates the dialing process. So it's going to help you be a lot more efficient with your time, making 3 to 5 times more dials per hour than you typically would by hand. If you're dialing by hand, and I've been in the industry for about 7 years now, so I'm used to dialing by hand. I prefer it. But if you're dialing by hand, you want to make sure that you're making minimally 35 dials an hour. If not, you got to, again, audit where are you on Facebook? Are you not paying attention to the task in front of you? Well, what are you paying attention to? So work spots. This is all going to go kind of coinciding with leads. So what is work spots? So work spots allows you to plug into any Family First Life office across the country for this membership fee. You're able to receive exclusive lead discount codes that are anywhere between 25 to 50. I've even seen like 60 or 80% off. And you get to communicate with top producers and leaders within the company via the WorkSpots app, as well as via going to their office and being able to actually see them working and in action. So you'll also have access to free sales training at local offices and access to now free BDMs at local offices, which is going to be great. So the membership's $99 a month. I'm not over here endorsing WorkSpots because it's going to make me any money. I'm over here endorsing WorkSpots because I see how much money it saves agents in my group each and every month. So $99 a month, and you will definitely save more than $99 on leads. So you register again on workspots.com. No matter where you live, you want to go ahead and use Apple Valley, California as your home office. That way you'll be entered to win a $500 lead credit, which is drawn each week for new WorkSpots members. All right, so now to get to the nuts and bolts here. So your lead options. So there's going to be 4 main lead options we're going to be looking at. So CRM or ILC cherry pick leads, direct mail, which is buy per lead or mortgage drop, Facebook funnel expense, and live transfer leads. So let's jump right into this. So right here where it says CRM, I'm going to pretend that we're all going to pretend that says ILC, Integrity Lead Center. So cherry pick leads, all this means is that they're leads that go into the Family First Life or the ILC, the Integrity Lead Center system. And that way we're able to purchase them instantly. So there's going to be a couple main types of leads. So we're going to be looking at internet leads as a whole. So there's going to be, I guess we could say 3 main types of internet leads. And there's only a couple of things that are going to make these any different from one another. So an instant internet life lead, Spanish options are available because I know that some folks out there, you have Spanish speakers, and God bless you all, because if there's the community needs help out there. But anyways, so this essentially just means that the client went on Google or some type of format on the internet. They filled out information and submitted an inquiry. It was immediately dropped into the CRM after it was submitted. So that's what makes it instant. Now, the only difference on a new internet life lead is that the new internet life lead has up to 72 hours to be dropped into the CRM. It's typically dropped in 24 to 48. But again, 72 hours, so it's a little bit more, or it could be a little bit more of a quote unquote aged lead. Now, going here to this aged internet life lead. So that's 1, 2, the third type here would be aged. So they have 1 month and 3 month aged internet life leads within the CRM. So these are $3 for the 3 month, $4 for the 1 month. Now, I have a lot of agents who absolutely love these leads, and they love these leads because really, when somebody fills things out on the internet, and we can all kind of relate in some way or another, like I'll be on Nike.com, and next thing I know, Nike.com is popping up, and Adidas is popping up, and every sports brand, you name it, is popping up as an ad. So we do have to be aware that sometimes folks will fill out more than one request, and that we're not the only company that does, internet leads. So an aged internet lead essentially means that the initial agent who bought this new or instant internet lead did not write that client. So now after them having that lead for 30 days, the lead is not taken from you as the agent, but it's going back into the CRM to give somebody else an at-bat. So after 30 days, it goes back into the CRM, and now it becomes a 1 month internet lead. So now same thing, that person has 30 days to help that family. They don't, it's going to go back into the CRM. And again, that's where we see that 3 month. So a lot of agents like those 1 month and 3 month, or like to supplement with them a little bit, because sometimes when, depending on the person, fills the form out as a new or instant internet life lead, they filled out 5, and now they're mad at you because you're the 5th person that called them. Whereas this gives it a little bit of time to die down, and for that person to be emotionally set back to why they actually filled out the need for life insurance. So that's kind of what those differences look like. In terms of age direct mail leads, so final expense or mortgage protection, aged is going to be a little bit of a different term. So just like up here where we have that aged internet life leads 1 to 3 months, we're going to have aged direct mail leads as well. So final expense and mortgage protection, you're going to see 1 month, 2 month, and 3 month. If you see just aged mortgage protection or just aged final expense, that means that it has indeed been over 12 months, so that that lead is 12 months or longer old. That's why it's about $1 or so. But when we're looking at those 1, 2, or 3 month, it goes back to exactly like the internet lead. It started here, it became a 1 month, 2 month, a 3 month, okay? So same thing with direct mail leads in terms of final expense or mortgage protection. And then those are anywhere between 3 to 9 months. I'm sorry, $3 to $9. And then the age, which are the ones that are years or older, are $1.50, I believe, or $2. Don't quote me exactly on that. And then here, social media leads. So again, Spanish options are available in some areas. So social media leads, when we're talking about the ILC or CRM, these are going to be interchangeable. They're populated in real time. And final expense lead generation is typically from Facebook or YouTube. So you'll see on their Facebook, 15 to 25, YouTube 15 to 25. Age, social media, same thing. The person before you didn't, close or help that family for whatever reason. So you're having another whack at it. Price range is $5 to $9 a lead. So those are our CRM leads. So direct mail leads or BPL buy per lead programs. So to make it very simple, because this is going to be almost looking, further into the future, there's going to be 4 main types in terms of mortgage protection BPL programs. There's going to be regular mortgage protection, so new mortgage mail, meaning the person just refinanced or just bought a home. Retro mortgage mail, which essentially just means that the person refinanced or bought their home anywhere within 1 to 10 years ago, and they're sending out backdated mail. Call-in leads, and those essentially mean that the new homeowner received a postcard in the mail. They called in, they verified some information, and it now is becoming a lead. I personally love these call-in leads because, as we're going to see here in a second, they're a lot cheaper. But however, if you're calling them the right way, these are typically folks that filled the form out, but also called in. And now with the calling, you're getting it right away. So it's like there's no lag, which is great. And then final expense BPL buy per lead programs are available as well. These price range from $32 to $81 a lead, hence why we do not start our brand new agents on this lead type. So buy per lead, this is only recommended after an agent has consistently deposited $15,000 or more into a month into a bank account for 3 consecutive months. We don't do this because we're trying to be mean. We actually do it to do the exact opposite, to make sure that you're in a position where you feel really good about going ahead and investing into this program. So what that looks like is the agent locks out that county and pays per leads as they come back in. So you could have 1 lead come back in a week, or you could have 300 leads come back in a week. So you have to be prepared for that. So mortgage and final expense options available. Data is sent exclusively to you because you have that county locked out. In the turnaround time after you're turning a brand new BPL on or buy per lead program is 3 to 6 weeks. And if you're looking to inquire about that, which again, as a brand new agent, you should not be, but this is just good for notes in the future. You can inquire by emailing leads@familyfirstlife.com with the county and state name that you're interested in or counties, and your direct manager or direct upline name as well. So ARM direct mail mail drop options. So again, there's going to be 3 main types: mortgage protection, retro, and final expense. The only difference is this is a prepaid option, so it's not necessarily a commitment. The mail can be dropped weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. It's county specific. The agent does have to lock up the county. And again, the turnaround time on any type of mail drop is going to be 3 to 6 weeks. And again, you'd inquire about this at leads@familyfirstlife.com with the county of interest and your manager's name. So Facebook final expense leads. So how's the lead generated? So leads responded to a Facebook ad for final expense life insurance. The turnaround time varies by state for sure, 1 to 7 business days. You want to inquire by visiting the lead vendor website and going ahead and emailing the vendor or sending an inquiry. We do work with multiple different vendors. We work with Happy Agent leads, Game Time leads, Bang Bang leads, Lead Bank, Tips, Tricks, and Closes, and the list goes on. If you go on fflsolidity.com and you go into the leads tab, you will find all the different vendors there. These do typically range $15 to $40 a lead, depending on the state and the actual lead type. The lead options are typically statewide, county specific, and there are Spanish options available. So BPL options are available with this lead type because some of the vendors realized, hey, we have John Smith who walks out Essex County, Massachusetts each and every week. Let's just go ahead and make that his county and put him on a BPL program so that it's automated. Because at the end of the day, guys, the goal is to have you on an automated lead system, whatever that means to you. So you don't have to think about your leads. That part of your business is just automated. So if you want to lock up counties, some of the vendors, as you'll see from up here, will be on BPL. Other will just be on a per order basis. Now, live transfer leads. So if you're thinking about doing telesales, I suggest that you start with, here's the thing, we all have to get punched in the face on the phone, whether we want to or not. Because if we don't get punched in the face on the phone, we're not ever going to respect the times that we get those easier sets, or we have those newer leads, or whatever it might be. And that goes for telesales, that goes for in-home, that goes for however you're running your business here. So live transfer leads, these are typically going to be, telesales, or, always going to be telesales. And what I would suggest new folks be starting on is internet leads. And I would actually start on aged internet leads if you're brand new and you're going into telesales. But just to kind of piggyback off of that, if you're brand new, or you're in the business, or you've been in the business, you're getting back into whatever it looks like for you, and you're looking at the telesales game, it's like, I get it. I've been doing this for some time myself. But if you haven't seen success in a home, you want to go see success in at least 50 homes before you're, turning on these things and getting all crazy. So live transfer leads, vendors, allwebleads.com, EverQuote. EverQuote does work exclusively with FFL agents. You can inquire by visiting the website and reaching right out to the vendor. So how are these leads generated? The lead was online inquiring about life insurance and was reached out to by somebody in a call center. The call center representative screens the lead and then transfers it to the agent. So the way that works is you're bidding on the lead. So there's no set price. You set your max bid. So you can say my max bid is $150. My max bid is $80. If you get outbidded, you get outbidded and you move on. But EverQuote, cool thing, they will match you up to $1,000 on your first lead order. So we're going to talk about now logging into your gateway portal, or the ILC, the Integrity Lead Center. Now this is going to be interactive. So if you're on here and you're buying leads today and you don't know how to log into this, this is the part where you want to stop, or you want to, make sure that you're logging in. So the login we're going to be using is gateway.upthetop.com. So I'm going to show you guys what that will look like. So the same credentials that you use to log into your HCMS profile, you're going to be using to log into your ILC. So let's see. So again, gateway. So I'm going to log in. And then I'm going to go to ILC on the left. And then we're going to be right in this order leads screen. So I live in Massachusetts, but let's just say I live in Kentucky. Let's just keep it fun. And let's just say that I live in Jefferson County, Kentucky. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and I want to press these bells. Now, these bells being green, all this means I just turn the alerts on so that if there's any leads here in Jefferson, Kentucky County, I'm going to get an email saying that there's leads. It's just an email. It's not that deep. So that if you're looking for leads, you're not checking the CRM every 5 minutes. You're simply going to get an email every time leads are uploaded in your county. So you want to make sure that, again, that these are green. I'm going to uncheck this for the sake of this call, just because, or I shall leave them here for now. So we're always going to be purchasing what they're going to refer to as cherry pick leads from the ILC. So we're in that order leads, as you can see there. You turn on your alerts, and then after you purchase your leads, they're going to be in your ILC in 15 minutes. So what does that look like? So just so we can give an example here. So let's just say I'm a brand new agent and it's my first lead order. By the way, there is a WorkSpots discount code that expires today, Sunday, 6/26 at midnight Eastern Standard Time, 9 Pacific. It's 40% off new internet life leads. So if I was a brand new agent, I want to be spending $1,000 on leads. So what would I do? I would take 1,000 and I would divide it by 9 because these are all $9 per lead. Okay, great. I could buy 111 leads, right? However, I have 40% off, right? So 40% off 1,000 is basically saying I have 1,400 to spend. So in this case, I'd be adding 155 leads, and I'm going to go ahead. So I type that in right next to the lead type, add to cart. My leads have been added to my cart. I'm going to go to my cart. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to use my discount code. And let's just say my discount code, because I don't want to use it because this is not a real purchase and I do indeed use it. Let's just say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would hit apply. And then it would take the code off. Obviously, that's not my real code. So we're going to click proceed to payment. Now, you're going to want to go ahead and edit or add your payment method if you don't have one here on file. Very important to go ahead and do that and keep one on file. And then you click purchase. So obviously, I'm not going to purchase these leads here in Kentucky as I do not live there. So after I click purchase, I'm going to get an email right away that the leads were purchased. And within 15 minutes, usually instantly, they're right in my ILC. So now I'm going back here and I'm going to manage leads. I like to go into list view. And essentially, if you look at it this way, this is going to select all of your leads. So for me, I have it on 60 per page. You can do 100 per page. And all you're doing is you're checking off all your leads. So this is going to be important. There's 2 important ways to pull your leads out. First way is going to be a template. So this is going to be, your regular normal PDF. That's probably going to take my computer a moment or here to download because I clicked 100 of them. So we're going to give that a second. And then after we open that up, so as you can see, this is the one that you'd be wanting to print, right? So you want to go ahead and print those out so that you have that with you and you have it for your door knocks, etc. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to export your leads. Now, when you're exporting them, you're going to want to export CSV. What you will realize about this when you export as CSV is that on your internet leads, it's going to give you a whole lot more information. A lot of the leads I have here are aged mortgage, so we're not really going to see it. But it's going to give every single outline, all the questions that the person answered on those internet leads, such as, the beneficiary, how much they're looking to cover, do they already have life insurance? All those questions that are asked, you're going to find those when you're hitting your export. So you want to make sure that you're going ahead and doing that. And let's get back to this PowerPoint. So lead resolution is key. You got to make sure you're willing. What are you willing to do that other people are not willing to do? So door knock your leads. You have to get out there. You have to door knock. For me, for every single appointment I set up 5 door knocks that are in or around that area to make sure that I always have a place to go, even if I get no-show, right? So schedule 5 door knocks for each appointment that you set. Download the app called Road Warrior to map out your door knocks. What you're able to do is the night before, the day before, you're able to go ahead and put all these addresses in and synchronize an actual route. This way you don't feel like you're just driving around all day, door knocking, but you have, you already drove by this house for the 3rd time. So you're in an actual route, right? Dialing in between appointments. You have to realize when you're in the field or if you're doing telesales, it's all about activity. How much money making activity can I put in this span of time? You got to make it worth it. And then always use older leads as filler after you've dialed on your newly purchased leads. So this may sound rhetorical, but it's not meant to. So of course, every week or every dial day, you're going to be dialing new leads, but you want to make sure you're not deading your old leads, right? So using older leads after you've purchased or you dialed on your newly purchased one. So you're going to dial on your new leads, but you're never going to forget about your quote unquote old leads that really aren't old. They're literally just from the couple of days ago or the week before. So resolution is key. Focus on keeping that binder thin. We just need a yes or no from the person, a strong yes or a strong no. Weekly training schedule. I can't stress this enough. I love each and every person on my team. However, I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. So on Mondays and Thursdays, you'll see here, we have a Zoom dial team, zoomsolidity.com. You just plug right in. There's top producers within the group dialing live on there. If you're a brand new agent or you're just kind of getting back into the rhythm of things and you want to go on there and dial live, we'd love to go ahead and unmute you. If you're like, well, I'm on Pacific time. I know a lot of you guys are on Pacific time. However, you still have, in my head, an upper hand because you have 3 extra hours where if you actually wake up at 5 in the morning, you're a brand new agent, you can hop on and listen to top producers dial for 3 hours and get objections and overcome them before you're actually hopping on the phone at 8 o'clock your time. So 8 to 1 p.m. Eastern time on Monday and Thursday. On Monday, we do also have the Monday Morning Wake Up podcast that comes out with Paul McLean, which is an amazing call. Love that podcast each and every week. On Thursdays at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, the AMS or Advanced Market Sales Training is live on Facebook on Thursday. And if you're within the Solidity group, it's good to keep this so that you're just good on team updates and things of that sort. So team Zoom call, we typically have a special guest on it each and every week, trying to bring more and more value in different areas of the business. And then the next level live, I've worked with Family First Life for some time. I can truly say that anytime I've ever missed the TNL live, which is very rare, I go back and watch it because I need to know what's going on within the company that I'm working within. So that's why before this was the Solidity team Zoom call, it was, you know, me plugging into Paul's group and plugging my group into that, because I needed to make sure that they had the proper outline of what is going on, right? So on Saturday, there is a Q&A with President Sean Mike. You get to hear from the president of the company himself. I'm just answering some questions right off of Instagram, which is pretty cool. So tune into that. So what are your next steps from here? So next steps is purchase leads and print your leads. If you're like, I don't like to print my leads, I don't know. You're going to have a lot of problems, in my personal opinion, down the road and trying to handle your CRM. Also, if there's ever an issue with your ILC/CRM, you know, you can find yourself in a place that you're like, I don't know how to pull my leads out. Print your leads. Don't be lazy. Download Phone Burner, right? Make it easier on yourself. Download WorkSpots, plug into your local office, and then plug into a dial team. So again, zoomsolidity.com, every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., making sure that each and every week we're plugged into that dial team. I know for me, the first year I hit Hall of Fame was when I felt pressure to be on that dial team, because I knew that it wasn't just about me, it was about the other people that were listening in on it. And it also made me hold myself to a higher standard, a higher expectation. So I hope it does the same for you. And then download the Road Warrior app. This is just an app on your phone. You download it. This is going to help you synchronize, you know, your door knocks. And now don't focus on product knowledge. It ain't that deep. Make appointments and protect families. We're going to be there for you in the home. So just make the appointments and help protect families. So